About to feed my cat some cat food. Feast. Chicken feast and gravy grilled. He loves this stuff. Oh my god, he goes absolutely crazy for this stuff. I mean, he just loves it. You cannot go without it. I think it's disgusting. I don't even want to smell it. I don't even want to touch it. I don't even want to get on me. Here you go, cat. Here you go, Benny. Eat your stuff. Yeah, so that's that. I forgot my vape. Fantastic. So I'm just hanging out. Kind of like I'm gonna start thinking about how the day went. It's kind of been a tough night. I think my views today are really low. I think if I'm lucky, I got 5,000 views today, but maybe closer to 7. It's pretty low though. That's kind of expected. I even said it. I'm expected to hit around 7 to 10,000 views a day. Sometimes I hit 13. There's 2 days I hit 13 views. But I want to say on average, yeah, I'm hitting about 10,000 views a day. Which is better than I was doing before. I don't know if I'm going to have another algorithmic jump, but it's possible. I had a few, and there was some patterns going on that made it seem like things were patterned, but maybe things aren't as patterned as they seem. I could be totally way off on that. But I check the analytics every so often. Every morning I even post about it. First thing I do in the morning is check my analytics, basically. I check my numbers. And I'm low. This might be it for tonight. Smoke this last bit and then just call it a night. It is insane how dead it is. It's just usually I get some kind of audience going on, but it's been lower than usual this evening, which is bound to happen. It's hard to find consistency on YouTube. It really is. I mean, I could consistently post and get on here and stuff, but there's no real consistency. Unless I stick to one niche area, right? And I just focus on that. But that alone just, I don't know. I'm not that interested in. But, pushing as always. I'm going to put this out so I'll have something tomorrow. But, yeah, pushing as always. I got one more post, maybe a couple of posts to do tonight. And that's about it. The views tonight are pretty lower than usual. But that's okay. I mean, it's bound to happen, So, I'm just hanging out. Anybody have any questions, any comments? This is the time where I'm going to answer them if you have any. I'm just hanging out for an hour, just chilling, kind of thinking about the day, thinking about what I have to do tomorrow. There is something weird that happened. I'm supposed to do this art class on Saturday, but something weird happened. Like, I'm usually using this like website to navigate myself through the system. I can check with clients and people and updates and whatnot, but for some reason I can't log in. So it's the only way I can get in communication with like my boss is by logging in, but I haven't been able to log in. There's no reset password. There's no number to call. So there is one little contact us thing that I did. I filled it out twice, so I'm literally waiting for them to get back to me. If they don't get back to me in time, I'm not going to be able to do the art class because there's no way for me to log in and accept it and talk to all the people coming out. So pretty messed up, but I'm not going to let it bug me that much. I mean, it's not my fault. It is kind of my fault, but I mean, this is going to happen. Like my computer usually has it automatically saved. It fills in the password and the username. For some reason, it just disappeared, and I don't know what it is. So I can't log in, and I can't really contact anyone. So I'm stuck in this weird situation. So I think I'm gonna have to cancel the art class this coming Saturday, which is whatever. It's fine. I don't care. I could do it another one some other night, some other day. I actually do have more art classes scheduled, but not my fault. These people, if I can't get a hold of them, then it's not my fault. How am I supposed to work with them if there's no way for me to, yeah, but whatever. No biggie, no biggie. Honestly, I kind of don't want to do it. I'm so like exhausted that I don't even want to do it. To be honest, I mean, I would do it. I would hunker down and do it. But I'm kind of glad that there's all these technical issues. I mean, I've done everything that I can to get a hold of these people, to do everything, and I'm willing to do the art thing. But like I said, if it gets canceled, it doesn't go through, fine with me. I'm exhausted. I've done so many things. I've accomplished so many things these last 2 months. I don't think it's such a bad idea to cancel one event. Ooh, no biggie, no biggie, no biggie at all. But yeah, I'm thinking about today. I liked how the gardening went okay. Again, I got interrupted. Today was all just about getting interrupted as much as possible. It's pretty nuts. But I was able to, I guess, pull through and stick to somewhat of a schedule that I have. Um, but a lot of it's just fatigue, fatigue from what I call running this marathon of YouTubing, which it is. It's a marathon. It's like you're just constantly. You wake up in the morning. I have a schedule to keep. I have an idea of what I'm doing. Sometimes I question it. Like right now, this evening's pretty questionable with the content I'm posting. I had like 3 days in a row where I was getting three, four. I mean, no, collectively 7,000 views from the stuff I post in the evening. For some reason, this evening took a turn. I've only gotten like 1,000 this evening, so it's kind of weird. I don't know what happened. And it's like that sometimes, maybe I made a post and it put off people, and or I did something and I messed up the algorithm, or you know what I'm saying. There's so many little things that could happen that ultimately gets viewers to turn away. So I'm working on that myself. But honestly, I'm still just focusing on hitting that goal, 1,000 subscribers, and I'm doing everything that I can to get there. Right now, I think I'm at 820 subscribers, which is pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. I just need what 120. So yeah, 200, 280, 200. Is that right? 280? No, 180. 180 subscribers is all I need left to get that 1,000 goal. So that's fun. That could take a couple weeks, perhaps. We'll see how it takes. I don't know. I don't know how long it's going to take. But what's crazy though? So the craziest thing I heard today. What's the craziest thing you heard today? Comment below. Comment below. What's the craziest thing you heard today in the news or you just heard? Because I'll tell you the craziest thing I heard today. And I don't really listen to the news that much. I stay really busy. The craziest thing I heard today was that Hulk Hogan passed away today. That just blew my mind. I mean, obviously people die. That's just natural. But you're just never prepared for what you're about to hear on the news or whatever. The fact that Hulk Hogan passed away today was pretty crazy. I'm not like a huge fan or anything, but it's still crazy. He touched a lot of people's lives. And I actually saw him in person. I got to meet him, and and I was always honest what I said. When I saw his eyes, they seemed really low, and he seemed tired. And when I show him the painting, his eyes lit up. He got excited and oh, he was like, so he got like some kind of energy jump from that. But when I first met him, yeah, he was just like tired, exhausted. You could see it in his face. But I didn't think of it. I just said, that's what I thought. He just looked really tired, and yeah, his eyes lit up. But and I didn't even ask him. He said, "Can I sign this for you?" And I was like, "Yes, please. That'd be amazing." I was too afraid to ask. Obviously I brought the painting to at least take a picture with it or something, but I was too scared to ask. Really, not scared, but it was more. What happened was security had said you can't ask Hulk Hogan to sign your painting. So, and they even said don't take it up, but I took it up anyways. So at least I did that. But so Hulk Hogan was like, "Oh, this is amazing." He was staring at it, like he was holding it, and he was just like staring at it, just like brother. And yeah, he asked me. I said, "Yeah, please sign it." So he did, and and then he I took a picture with him and whatnot, and just that was it. That was it. And I was like pretty much the last person in line too. It was here in Jenks, a grocery store, or was it Bixby? One of those areas around here, Tulsa. It was at a grocery store, a pretty new, decent sized grocery store that's like constructed like I think it's a Walmart, but it's like nice. It's like Target nice. It's weird. And so Hulk Hogan showed up there, and they had this big space, and this huge court that they have in the front sort of was packed like with people. I lost count. I think it was like 600 or something. It was crazy. And I got there late, sort of, and I was like the last person. And literally, I got there, and the guy and the person like who was in charge of the line was like, "All right, this is the cutoff," and I was like, "Holy shit!" And I kind of imagined maybe they saw me with the painting in line, and they were like, "Oh shit, let's get this guy in, let's get him in and cut it off there." They probably would have cut it off early, maybe had it not been for the painting. But everybody was like, "Whoa, this is so cool!" Everybody, and so I think some guy wanted to buy it, and I was like, "No way, man." There's always people who want to buy that painting, and I tell them no way because I made a promise to all these celebrities that I met that if they sign it, that it would always forever be hung at this movie theater in Broken Arrow. It would never be sold. Um, you know, I might be tempted with like $1 million, but I'm sorry. I made a promise to these people, so a promise is a promise, and I'm gonna keep it. And that's the only reason why they sign it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I have all these paintings of all these different celebrities hanging in this movie theater here in Broken Arrow called Go Shows. If you Google Jack of all trades or Jack of all shows in Broken Arrow, it'll pop up. And it's this movie theater that I do I do a film festival. I do screenings. I help with a haunted house, and I don't know if it's still true, and I gotta check in and see if it's still happening. But there is somewhat of a quasi semi celebrity figure from the '90s that's wanting to direct the haunted house this year. So if that's the case, I was like one of the actors in the haunted house, and I played a big, important kind of part in the whole thing as the guide. I was this goblin with my little stick and lamp, and I would guide people in through the haunted house, and I would take them to this little area where they watch a movie, in which I helped prepare the tech part of that. The movie explained what the haunted house was and what you can do, what you couldn't do, and kind of some of the creatures in the haunted house. And then after that, you go into this little test room where you get a first interactive actor. And after the first test room, sometimes some people can't take the first test room and they leave immediately because it's too scary. So that's like, it was set up like that. It was actually good because you never know. You don't want to start with some people and then go right into it and it's like too much. Because once the actors are loose, they're loose, you know what I'm saying? Like it's on, the game is on. So that's why we do a test run
with this little room. They have to go in and come back the same door. And if sometimes there's people crying, there's girls that come, they're like, oh, I'm not afraid of anything. And they leave that room crying and like, I'm never coming back here. Like some of them get pissed. It's like, we told you, like, don't get angry at us. We told you that you might get upset. You might get like really scared. You're going to scare you. We're going to scare you to death, essentially. And some people can't take it, and so we do the test room, and then so after that it gets intense. After that, you go through all the rooms, and we actually got number two. We were rated by a independent source guy who does this like every year. He goes to all the haunted houses and rates them. We were rated number two, and the only reason we were rated number two is because there's a haunted house in Guthrie that does they had a band and they had like more stuff for kids. So we're gonna amp it up. I'm talking. I've already got ideas of how to ramp it up. I mean, it's not my thing, but I'm gonna present it to the owner theater and whatnot and see if I can make something happen, because I want to get an old police car and dress up like an old police, like 50s policeman, and in the car take people in the car through a field where it's like normal every day, and it turns into a field of zombies, and then I act like I'm shooting them and I get eaten alive, and then they have to like I take them to a path, but once I take them to the path and they start running to the other part of the room, I get eaten alive, and they have to run. It's a whole scene, so I'm hoping to do that. That'd be really cool. There's a U-Haul owns the field out there. That's like, there's the theater, there's this huge field, and there's a U-Haul. And so if I could talk to the U-Haul people and convince them to take part of this, I can make it happen. It would be like a zombie experience through the police car. What's that first movie called? The first zombie movie? Comment below if you remember the Night of the Living Dead. Is that what it's called? So it's like you'd be experiencing that, and it's a movie theater. So of course you take inspiration from movies, and so the idea is that you experience that scene from that movie where they're in the car. Maybe it doesn't have to be a police car, but it could be that old style car. I can try to find one, and then get the zombies going and whatnot, and then maybe build part of the house, like not for reals, but like on the outside, maybe build part of the house where you can see scenes of like, or you can see like people stick guns out through the windows. That would be scary, wouldn't it? Like you walk up to the movie theater and there's like, you see this old house that's like boarded up with guns sticking out of it and like maybe some dead zombies on the ground. That would be freaking scary, and have signs that say, zombies be aware, trespassers will be shot. That would be terrifying. Get some fog going, some people yelling like they're getting eaten alive, and then do sounds through the speakers like there's zombies eating somebody and getting eaten alive. That's some scary shit. That's just the live. That's just you getting to the theater, like outside. You're outside and like, holy fuck, I'm not going in there. You know what I mean? That'd be intense. So I've already got ideas rolling with that, and so there's I don't know, this semi quasi celebrity from the '90s. He was in movies and sitcoms. I'm not gonna say who it is because, I don't know if it's for sure. I heard rumors, and so I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how for real it is, but even if it isn't, I'm still gonna try to go all the way through with this. It's gonna be a lot of fun, and I'm hoping to do a documentary while we're building it, and filming it, and while we're performing it, and that's gonna be like the next thing that I do. Really, a little documentary over the haunted house. I'll probably do it anyways, but if that celebrity shows up, it'll make the documentary even that more interesting. Most definitely, because this guy's like, in a lot of ways, this guy's like coming out of retirement, and the fact that I get to work with him and then make a documentary would be pretty badass. Pretty badass. Again, I can't say who it is, and I won't say who it is until I know for sure that it's actually happening. So, but either way, like I said, I'm still gonna try to do all these things. Yeah, so today was kind of weird. I don't know, for some reason there were so many technical issues, so many interruptions throughout the day. But I kind of expect to have, interruptions. So I always have a little time here and there, but it's always like manageable. But this was crazy. I mean, it was just crazy. So one of the craziest things that happened was my mom coming out and yelling at me. She was like, "This is an emergency. You need to come pick your dad up," and this and that. And sometimes it happens. Emergencies happen, and they interrupt your life, and you can't really be mad. You just got to go take care of the emergency. Let things stand where they are. Then I just come back to it. But it's just one of those things where interruptions happen they happen all the time, and there's no point getting angry. It's just you just accept that they happen and hope that they don't happen as often as they do. But my folks are a lot older. I live right outside. I'm like their neighbor essentially. So if they ever need anything, emergency, I'm always there for them, and that's the whole point why I'm close. Um, so it's nice. It's nice to be close to them and be able to help them, and they've been helping me in return a lot. So it's been symbiotic, a symbiotic thing going on. It's pretty good. I don't know. I was trying to think of something, but I can't think of anything. But like, you know, anything I really want to talk about. So I'm still kind of in shock about Hulk Hogan passing. It's freaky. It's weird. Like there's so many people that are passing, and it's just a constant reminder that nothing remains. Nothing truly remains. And it's like, what's going on, man? It's just so sad. You know, I think one of the saddest ones ever that once it happens. I mean, there's so many famous people today that, man, there's just so many of them that are old, and they're just they're in their 60s, and it's crazy to think that at any second they could go. You know what I mean? So lots of well-loved people could be gone in a year, 2, 3 years. I mean, Hulk Hogan is the first of a domino effect. He's part of that late '80s, '90s culture that people love. And everybody who was a kid back then is grown up, and everybody who was a grown up back then is getting old. And everybody who was old back then is pretty much dead or getting there. So pretty crazy. I mean, that really is the first sign of things changing and him passing. I believe it. Hulk Hogan passing is a huge symbol of the times changing. Because he himself was such a symbol. He was such a hero, such a hero for that time. And a lot of people, especially now when he came out supporting a president, a lot of people back really loved him for that. And then he started doing the beer thing. I'm not a fan of beer. I thought it was a weird move for him to go to endorsing a president to selling beer. It's almost like he endorsed Trump so that he could later sell the beer. I don't know. I just thought it was weird. Plus, beer isn't healthy. Yeah, beer sells, but at the end of the day, it's not healthy for people. It's I guess everything in moderation, right? But man, I'm telling you, beer, alcohol, it's basically poison. It's straight up poison. Um, it shuts down your brain. It kills your brain cells. What up? What we got? Hey, just passing by to say that Jesus loves you so much. Hey, it's this person again. Shasha 13. How you doing? How are you doing? You're always passing through. Why don't you stop by for a minute and chat with us? Tell us about Jesus. Why don't you? Come on now. You're the one who brought it up. Tell us something we don't know. I guess you already told us everything we need to know. But what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you, bad boys, bad boys? What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Man, oh man! So tomorrow is Friday, and I'm going to continue doing the posting stuff as I usually do. I didn't work out today. That's something I did not do today. I'm gonna do it tomorrow. I think I needed to break for sure. Tomorrow I'm gonna hit it hard again with the working out. I'm gonna do 100 jump ropes, 100 jumping jacks, the whole spiel, the whole body workout. Maybe not too heavy, but legs and everything, core, sprinting, all that stuff. Yeah, all of the above, all of the above. Tomorrow, hit it hard with the training. I'm trying to think if there's anything. What is there left to do with the gardening? There's not really a lot to do with the gardening. There's probably still, yeah, there's still all that's left to do is just cleaning up, which is like I think not as interesting as actual gardening, but it still needs to be done. I just need to clean up the shed so I can store those tools properly in a proper place. And store other things. There's a whole area that's completely disorganized. I've organized, I would say, 75% of the yard so far, and that's all that's left is that last 25, and I'm done. And I can move on. Once I'm done organizing, I know it's not the most exciting thing. It doesn't get me a lot of views, but it has to be done. And honestly, if you go to my podcast section, go to my playlist, you can see all my vlogs and garden videos. But if you have a podcast called Discuss It with Lasso, and I talk about the importance of organization in your life. It's totally life changing. Just keeping your stuff organized, cleaned, up to date, maintained. It relieves stress. It really does a lot. And working on the garden is so healthy for you. There's a lot of benefit to that. I talk about that in the podcast. I think there's 15 episodes in total. All I talk about in those 15 episodes are these specific topics that if you combine them all, it makes you a really just highly motivated, highly achieving person. And so, you're welcome to check those out. Of course, my playlist, there's like I have an animal playlist for Benny and Lolita. So my dog Lolita. Benny's a cat that I'm taking care of for a friend who's in California, who is in like some serious life-changing things happening with her she's going through. So I'm taking care of her cat while she does that. And I love Benny. I love Benny like my own. I'm gonna miss him when he's gone. Whenever she gets back here and takes him. But I take care of him like he was my own. He's a lot of fun. He keeps me company. Well, let me share my testimony. I come from a broken family. My father was on drugs, and as a little child, I grew up as a very shy, most insecure child. A lot of struggles, depression, and anxiety. Yes. Very tough situation, sounds like. So what happened? What triggered? What led you to the path that made you go, oh, this is for me, or oh, this woke me up, or what sparked the whole Jesus thing? Like were you always like, did your mom teach you, or somebody teach you, or did you? What sparked? I'm really curious. I'm not fooling around. I'm not pulling your leg. I'm really curious. So okay, I know for a lot of people reading that offhand may sound not as intense. Well, let's read this. You are crying out loud for God. It means that you were in a situation of a lot of pain, probably internally, including everything externally happening to you, that you were at a point, pushed to a certain point where you were crying loud in agony for God. That is a very low, painful point, right? I'm not wrong about that, am I? And so you're saying you just had enough, you cried out, and then something happened. What happened? Was it over time? Was it immediate? Did you just suddenly go, oh Jesus, oh God, or was it over time? Something become revealed to you? I'm really curious. Let us know in the comments. I like this conversation. I don't think a lot of people do because they all laugh, but I'm really curious. I really am. I respect that you found something that's really helping you out. I started YouTube in November because I was also depressed. and had some anxiety, stress, low point, all that stuff. I read 20 books. They were all on relationships. They were all on psychology. They were on different fields. All experts in all these different fields that I felt like I was weak in, that I felt like I needed help in. And so I read books from adulting, from relationships to finance to all these different topics. And it was through reading these 20 books that I was able to get out of my depression, out of my hole, out of my own thing. But see, I didn't have the Jesus experience like you did. I just read 20 books written by experts, and all the information I was getting, I was applying to my life, and I made the tweaks, and by making those tweaks in my life, changing my habits, I just slowly got out of my slump, and now I've tweaked enough things in my life, and I keep tweaking things in my life and keep reading books that I've included a lot of nutrition, completely different nutrition that I eat today. I exercise different today. I have a lot more strength. I feel healthier. I'm a lot more positive because I learned how to meditate and how to align myself with myself and the world around me. But I got to be honest, the whole Jesus thing never came to me once. I didn't have a Jesus experience, not even once. So you're lucky. You're lucky that you had it. Maybe I didn't feel enough pain in the world. Maybe I don't feel lost enough. Maybe I still have a lot to learn. But I will say, I'm okay without Jesus. I love everybody. I love Jesus, but I'm okay without him in my life. I can say that boldly. I won't say it like a negative thing. I just say it like it just is what it is. I've never really had Jesus in my life, and I don't today. And I think one of the most spectacular things that I could have done in my life was use my own willpower, my own energy to get myself out of my own hole. Um, and not only just that, I dove into some serious topics on how to become a high achieving person, and so I did all that. It's completely changed my life. I'm not a religious person. I'm sorry, I'm not. I apologize, but it's just who I am. So I always say, you found Jesus. Wow, you're lucky. Wow, you're some of the lucky ones, because I don't know what it's like to find something like that. I don't know. I love nature. I'm really close to nature. When I'm close to nature, I feel like a spiritual experience. I feel something with nature. I get a lot of joy from nature. It's insane how much joy. Nature is my cathedral, if you will. Nature is my sanctuary, my moment of connecting and aligning myself with myself and everything around me. It allows me to see what's real and what's not real. It allows me what's man-made. It allows me to see what's natural, organic, and what's not organic and not unnatural. It allows me to see kingdoms that were built on lies. It allows me to see fictional characters. It allows me to see through myths and legends. It allows me to see things for what they are versus what they've been built up to be. Now, like I said, some people find a life raft and call it Jesus, and they're happy. I'm not that kind of person, unfortunately. So, but I found joy in living my life to the fullest. I love the gardening that I do, the exercising that I do, the reading that I do. I've dove into filmmaking. I got to work with, like, on set with all these big producers and names: Martin Scorsese, Robert De Niro, Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying, these are things that I want to pursue in my life. These are things that brought me a lot of joy, a lot of hardships, but it was worth it at the end. I got to be on these tremendous movie sets like Killers of the Flower Moon, and really got to experience life to the fullest. And lots of ups and downs, lots of politics, and lots of people who go against you, this and that. That's just how it is. That's just the world. That's just how the world is. People are going to come up against you. I went through all that. It's pretty insane. It's truly a dog eat dog world. Once you really get in that kind of world, when you get up high, that level of competition where people want those jobs, It is a dog eat dog world. You're not your friends. This is a very harsh world. It's a very they will throw you under the bus. They don't give a shit. I'll tell you that much. That's kind of why I left the film industry. I got tired of the double standards, the triple standards. They just mistreat you for God knows why. They're just ridiculous bunch of people. They have their priorities kind of screwy, if you ask me. Um, but it is a beautiful craft. Filmmaking is a beautiful craft. It's completely ruined, in my opinion, today by just a bunch of convoluted money being thrown at projects and left and right, and just talentless actors who have brand names and big names but are just completely talentless. It's just the state of film is in such a complete mess. And, the whole, what do you call it, propaganda with the whole wokeism and just changing every single thing about Disney and Star Wars and everything, like this whole wave of just, hey, let's change our culture as the United States completely. We're no longer like this. We are like this now, and we're telling you because we've changed all of our movies. And we have the power to do it. Not only that, we're changing how we do bathrooms. These people are fucking weird, man. If you ask me, they're trying to ruin something really good. In my opinion, I mean, it's already ruined. Let's just face the facts. George Lucas feels like Star Wars has gone down the drain, and a lot of people are everybody's just scratching their heads like, what the hell? What the and now we have Naked Gun being remade by McFarlane, which could be a hit or miss. Could be a big hit or miss. I don't think he should touch a classic like Naked Gun. I think he's gonna botch it up. You can't bring that shit back. You got to do your own thing. Like he did that Western that was really funny. But if he's gonna bring back Naked Gun, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, you better. I mean, it better be basically the what do we call it? What's that one movie? It better be the Blazing Saddles. If Chris, what's his name, McFarlane, whatever, the Family guy, funny guy, remakes Naked Gun, it better be the Blazing Saddles of our generation. That's all I'm gonna say. He better not miss the mark on that. It's not because of who you are or what you've done. It's because of what he's done and because of who he is. He loves you. Yeah, see, I'm not all about giving other people credit. I've done all the things in my life because I put the energy and time for it. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not going to give something or somebody attached to a kingdom that I have nothing to do with credit for anything in my life. I'm sorry. Like, if you have that, great. That's your opinion. If you want to kneel down to a kingdom that has nothing to do with anything, go ahead. That's your freedom. That's your freedom. God bless you. God bless you. I will never do it. I kneel down to no man. No man, no myth, no kingdom, no lie. You write that down in the book. If Jesus appeared in front of me, I wouldn't kneel down in front of him. He wouldn't want me to. Why would I do that? I'm a man. I'm a child of God. Why would I put myself beneath any other creature created by God? Makes no sense. Think about it. Makes no sense. It's all about authority. You're giving your authority to somebody, whether it's politics, religion, whatever it is, you're giving your power away. Because I talk about this in my podcast. We are grown up to be childlike adults. We are taught and conditioned to grow up to be children, to look towards bosses, to look towards myths, to look towards religions, to look towards authorities, because we were conditioned to be childlike, to be children, to not think for ourselves, to not provide for ourselves, to not do this for ourselves. We are conditioned to be children, okay? We are conditioned from birth to be children by a higher class of elites who expect you to be their slaves working in their corporations. Am I wrong? I'm not wrong. Take your Jesus with you. God bless you. You don't think Jesus is a corporated organization? Look it up. Your religion is a corporation. Look it up. You think I'm going to follow any corporated religion? Nah, heck nah. God bless you if you do, though. I'm just not that kind of person. There's nothing you could do, nothing you could say that will make me go towards any religion on this planet. They're all made up for kingdoms, for authority, for slavitude, slave, whatever you want to call it. Slavery of the soul. You bow down to one man, just like you do in politics, just like you do in everything else. You bow down to an authority. I'm not going to get into it, but the only authority I bow down to is the authority of God. And no man can tell me where God's authority is placed. You can't tell me. You don't even know. I don't know. She doesn't know. We don't know how we got here. We don't even know what this is. Somebody said, oh, you might go to heaven when you die. You might go to hell. You don't know. You're just guessing. You're living your life according to fear. You think I'm going to live my life according to fear? No. That has nothing to do with positivity. You think fear has anything to do with positivity? You think living under someone's authority has anything to do with positivity? No. It has everything to do to take your liberty away. Your free thinking, your free will, your free spirit. Man, I'm telling you, don't get me started. Don't get me started, because I'm a highly read up person. Pretty intelligent, but I'm not gonna like boost my ego. That's like the last thing I want to do. I want to stay a student. Teach me something I don't know, you know? Teach me something I don't know, then I'll be surprised. Otherwise, nothing surprises me. Nothing surprises me anymore. Like, I've heard it all. I've seen it all. I've seen parts of reality that most people don't get to see. I've seen secrets that people don't get to see. I know things people don't know about that if I were to bring up would go, you're fucking crazy. Of course it's crazy. You're not caught up with all the intel. Of course it's going to be crazy. I remember I was talking about cloud seeding, how like planes were going around making clouds and stuff, and like now finally they said it's real, and people are like, oh, you're crazy. Nah, dude, this tech's been around for a long time. The problem is it doesn't get to the public. You think the public gets all the fresh, top-notch intel that exists presently? You gotta be kidding me. You don't get top-notch technology. You get like bronze level technology. The military gets gold level technology. You only get bronze. You get like less than bronze. We get less than that. We get like, what's less than bronze? Tell lead? You know what I'm saying? We get treated like trash because they can. They look at us like a pile of moss they can just rip apart whenever they want or collect or do whatever that's how they see it. You got to look at the grand scale things, you know, look down at things from above. When you have that kind of perspective, how do you see the world? How do you see people? You know, it's easy to see people as just ants when you're looking way above. They all have the same habits. Most people have the same habits. You know, that's why it's easy to be above average. You just tweak a few things in your life, you took a few habits, and you're already above average. Because the majority of people are so average. They don't do anything. But you watch 5 hours of TV a day? You think that's healthy? Watching 5, 6, 8 hours. Here I am talking to you through YouTube, but listen, if you're watching 8 hours of TV, you better cut back. You better cut back and go camping. That's all I'm going to say. You know what I'm saying? That's why I keep a garden. I garden every single day. I'm always outside with nature. You know, unfortunately, we're so like ambushed by technology. We don't have a choice. Like sometimes you just don't have a choice. You just got to use what's here. You know, not everything is, you know, tools are tools. Tools, it's the user. Is the user evil or friendly? All tools are just tools. You know, at the end of the day,
is the user of the tool evil or friend? You know, that's all it is. It's crazy. It's crazy how the energy of humans can totally forge a future, and how a leader, if he can capture that energy, he can totally guide the direction of anything. If he knows how to like capture that human energy, human enterprise, and guide it and be a guiding force, that's heavy. That's heavy. I mean, that's what Trump is essentially. That's what Trump is. That's what any celebrity is. An influencer. These are they don't just influence. They forge the future. You know what I'm saying? Like they're responsible for this kind of thing. Truly, I think so. I think so. I mean, everything we've experienced technology-wise, cell phones, computers. I mean, who's the leading force behind all that? Like, why? Why was that so necessary in our existence? You know what I mean? Like, why? To improve our lives? Has it? Or is it more or less imprisoning us, making us more like these slaves that are free but don't have a choice but to do the things they want us to? You know what I mean? They get us differently. It's like the way to really escape the matrix is like to not buy into and get into the habit of doing everything that they expect from you. Think about it. From voting to going to school to, I mean, obviously I'm not advocating for anarchy, but I'm just saying we live in this kind of world. It's just mass populated, mass government control. It kind of has to be because there's just so many freaking people, you know. But I just feel like what that was done on purpose. People were driving cities to keep growing, keep. You know what I'm saying? Like leaders knew what they were doing. Leaders know what they're doing. Like it's almost like they're on a mission and they have to like stick to it. And somebody's giving them, hey, make sure this happens in the laws. Make sure the laws change this way. So in the future we have this and this and this. Like somebody's guiding is a guide. Some call it aliens, but I'm not going to go into that. I just think there's an elite class of rich ass people, like beyond rich, who pretty much control everything. And so they make up stuff like aliens and stuff like that to freak out people and confuse people. And, oh, right, don't blame the government, blame the aliens. Biggest Trojan horse of our modern times, aliens. If you ask me, aliens is the biggest Trojan horse of all time. Like, people will look back in this and be like, aliens aren't real, idiots. You know what I mean? Like, you have to keep, you got to keep pushing the lie over and over and over and over. Like, how long until the lie is up? Like, the jig is up, you know? Well, take Jesus, for example. He's been going for 2,000 years strong. That's a strong lie right there. One of the strongest lies I've ever heard. 2,000-year strong lie and growing stronger every year. I'm telling you, man, kingdoms are built on lies, not truth. Because truth wouldn't allow for kingdoms to exist, really, if you think about it. There's no real... What's the reason for authority? Like, especially extreme authority, you know what I mean? It's to keep people enslaved. All Americans have guns to their heads. They just don't realize it, you know? They just don't realize it. They don't realize it. Wait till something wrong happens. Wait till, oh, you missed your taxes, or oh, this happened, or this, or this. You get all your shit taken away. Oh, you broke the law? Well, gonna put you in prison. Oh, this happened? We'll take it away. Oh, this? Oh, you can't prove it? We're gonna accuse you anyways? And fuck your life? Yeah, there's a side of America that's really dark and heavy. Really dark. Just think of all the lawyers on the planet. Think of 500 lawyers sitting in one room thinking about how to control everything. Have you ever thought about that?
You ever thought about how like not just anybody can be a president because you need a bunch of like you need like 500 lawyers to endorse you to even get through any kind of anything. I don't even understand it myself, but you know, not just anyone can be president. I mean, they're obviously picked for us. They're obviously puppets. You know, they're obviously part. They're all part of the same team. Joe Biden and Trump are not against each other. The whole point is to keep people mesmerized and hypnotized and divided. You know, and at the end of the day, Trump and Biden go have a sandwich together and go, "We did our jobs." That's the America we live in. You don't think so? Do you feel like something's wrong? Something's off, maybe? Think about it. Do you really think the elites are fighting against each other? Do you really think so? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it's all story time, all made up, all snowballing because of authority, because of power, you know. That's what I think. Do I have proof? No. I don't have proof of any of this. It's just speculation, observation, very keen observation of people and their behaviors, how they act. You know, when I see religious groups, I don't go, oh, I'm having a religious experience too. I just observe them as creatures and go, why are they acting like that? It's so weird. Oh, because they were told to, because they were brainwashed. Oh, so you don't know anything about religion or God until you're brainwashed. Oh, interesting. Because if all that was real, then wouldn't you be born with that innate knowledge? Oh, you're not. But what innate knowledge are you born with? Oh, a subconscious. Oh, wow. And there's brain activity that I don't even have to think about and just functions. My body functions with like stuff that I don't even have to think about or do. Wow, it's automatic. I'm having experience. That is kind of almost meaningless. You know, you're here one day, gone the next day. Over 1,000 years, you're meaningless. Completely. Maybe not. Not so fast, Lasso. Because I do believe in chains, that, you know, we are completely chained to our ancestors and our future selves, you know. So I don't believe that it's completely meaningless because we like I said, we forge a future. We can change where we go, you know. And so that there is meaning in that, you know. Every kindness that you deliver, every act of violence you deliver, it's like one of the philosophers says, it echoes for eternity. All your actions echo for eternity. So it's not completely meaningless, you know. There is something that we do that affects everything around us for the positive or negative, you know. And even when we're gone, there's still stuff happening on this plane of existence, you know. And we can debate whether the world is flat or round, but I'll tell you right now, it's neither. It's a dimension. Dimensions don't have shape. The fight with the shape was to divide and conquer and create authority. Now we have an authority that says, yes, you believers who believe in this flatland are idiots. And you only need to believe in NASA, because NASA has the real science, and we've shown you that it's the world. And everybody who was saying the flat Earth was flat, we've just killed them. We've burned them and tortured them. Silly people. Why? Oh, maybe the idea that the world isn't a globe distorts reality a bit and kind of frees people from their chains. Is that why people say we live in a world, the globe? Could be. First thing they teach us to brainwash us is what? A globe. Why is something so simple, so powerful? I don't know. You better look into it. Is all I'm gonna say. Oh man. I was walking in a government building once, a Capitol building, like inside, where like, you know, a lot of people are not allowed to go in. One of my favorite things that I saw was a line of presidents and their like portraits. All of them. All of them, even Obama, even the ones going back to George, even all the ones going all the way back, they all had their degree number of masonry on it. Oh, 32, 33. They were all mostly 32 or 33. I was like, wait a minute. I thought this was all a conspiracy. Why is there literally frames of presidents with a degree number of their masonry? Oh, because it's real. It's not fake. That's a real thing. Oh, and they're all part of the same team. Oh, duh. Can you imagine if all of America woke up all at once? How pissed off do you think they would be? Probably pissed off. I would probably really pissed off. Probably to the point where they would. I mean, why do you think they put barbed wire around the Capitol? Because they know. They know. They know they're doing things and getting away with it. Like, not everyone's an idiot. They know not everyone's an idiot in states. They know there are a lot of smart people who knows what's going on. And they know they could potentially piss off the wrong person and wrong organization, wrong group of people who are actually, freedom-loving people. And, something could happen. Who knows what could happen? In my opinion, this January 6th thing was totally fucking retarded theatrics. That wasn't even anything. That was so stupid. But I think they're really afraid of something really happening, like where they can't control like they did January 6th. That was completely controlled, by the way. But they're really afraid of something happening where it's not controlled. So I think that's why they did it, was to show, hey, you try to do something, we'll put you in prison for years, which they did. They put a lot of people in prison for years and held them because, they were sending a message to Americans. Don't riot against us. We may go out, bomb countries, we may piss you off, do this, do that, not make you happy, but it's okay. Because guess what? We're going to have another president in 4 years. So you get to go and elect another president that they set up for you. And guess what? When you don't get what you want, then you go get another 4 years for another president. And guess what? When you don't get what you don't want, they're going to hype you up with another president and go, this is the guy. He's different. It's all the same story. When are people going to wake up? I've never fell for it. They all seem fake. They all seem like puppets. They all seem like they have an agenda. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like being lied to. I'm a Scorpio. We're like the kings of detecting lies. We're the masters of lie detectors. Don't lie to me. Don't you ever lie to me, boy. I'll pick up your scent a mile away. You understand me? Getting the character. That's an extreme version of that character. Man, don't get me high. You see what happens? Shit. God bless the world. God bless every human being out there. God bless. Man. Stay positive. If anything you do in life, choose to stay positive, okay? You can choose to follow whoever you want. You can follow a mythical creature. You can follow this or that. Dude, you know what the best advice I can give you? Enjoy the moment. Enjoy the present for what it is, a gift. That's the only thing God gave us to enjoy is a gift, is the present, right now, today. And you allow people to take that away from you. You allow people to take joy away from your present that God delivers to you every single day. You have an opportunity to live your gift to the fullest, most positive. The gift isn't Jesus. The gift is the message, which is you get to choose to have a positive life and a positive outcome. Let that sink in for a second. Let it sink in. Maybe Jesus is really a representation of us, each and every single person, and the opportunity to resurrect yourself through positivity, through vibing high. You get to live a positive life no matter what happens to you. You liberate yourself from suffering. Anybody says, oh, you're this, or you need to do this, you do that. No, you're liberated. You found Jesus, but did you really find yourself? Think about it. You found Jesus, but have you found yourself? Are you still lost? Well, let Jesus, the character, lead you to the way. You know, I think some people get lazy about Jesus and saying, well, Jesus did this for me, so I don't have to do anything. I can just sit here and do nothing and die. No. You still got to go eat. You still got to go make a choice about what you're going to go eat, nutrition-wise. Some people go eat burgers all their lives and have heart attacks. I'm pretty sure God didn't go say, go live your life feeding a corporated machine that eventually affects your health really negatively because they have to mass produce it. Because it's mass produced, they gotta put chemicals in it. Think about it. Think about it. Just think about it. One of my favorite quotes is, use the stuff between your ears. Do some thinking for yourself. Why don't you do some thinking for yourself for once in your life? Make some decisions. Don't allow people to decide for you. Really? You don't allow people to decide what you're gonna do, what you're gonna wear, how you're gonna move, what time you gotta be where, and do this for them. You're gonna stand there all day like an idiot while they have a whole grasp of reality that you don't even know because you're so uneducated. I'm sorry, did I offend you? Good. Go read a book. Go self-educate yourself. Go learn something. You might find that you might get smarter, and then you make better decisions in life. Huh. Go figure. You know? The only temple I understand is this body. That's the temple. That's the only temple I understand. Temple, what? Temple, a church that exists that somebody built by bricks, and they're trying to steal that away from you? No, this body is the temple. We each have our own temples, and we treat them like shit. Because why? We got to go serve and kneel, congregate, give our money. Why? Perpetuate a lie or a myth, a fiction that a lot of people believe as truth? Okay, whatever, man. Maybe the whole point of society is to have a lot of ignorant people. And the only way for ignorant people to exist is for them to just be like, well, I believe in Jobo. I just made up a fictional character, but Jobo came down from heaven and had this life that none of us has ever seen, but I have a book that says he was real. Okay. Yeah, good luck on that one. Good luck on that one, buddy. Good luck convincing future generations who are going to be much smarter than us. Believe me when I say future kids, future generations are going to be way smarter than us, and they're not going to take this shit. They're going to look at this and go, people believed in this? What a bunch of garbage. It's the same with the Egyptians. They got tired of it. They're like, people believe in this? What a bunch of garbage. It's the same with any religion. People get tired of it. They're like, this is garbage. It doesn't work for us. We're going to exodus out of this craziness because we're actually awake now. Oh, there's so many traps in this world. There's so many prisons. They're not bars. They're not chains. There are these like manipulative systems that you fall into. And it's all like these systems that you go in as a conduit. You act as a conduit for them. They're using you. You come in, you go out. Sure, if you're a zombie, I guess zombies are used as conduits. I guess corporations look at zombies as people who are kind of mindless and just go, oh, I'm going to do this today. Oh, I got to buy some groceries. Oh, I got to go do this. Perfect. Are you telling me I can create a corporation and I can get zombies to do all my bidding? That's pretty awesome. Okay, now we're getting someplace. See, now we're getting somewhere. Now we're talking about building a corporation, building our own kingdom. Interesting. See, now we're on a totally different vibe. You know, did Jesus ever go build your own kingdom? I don't think so. I don't think he said that. While other people are building their own kingdoms that they pass down generation, family to family, and you believe in Jesus, fantastic. Good for you. That's all I'm gonna say. God bless you. God bless you. God bless America. God bless religions. All incorporated religions. I'm pretty sure all religions stem from the Vatican, by the way. They're all like little subcategories that they all control. Not all of them, but essentially all of them. There's the Presbyterian version, or there's this version. That's all entities they created, incorporated religions for people to have their burger or their chicken burger or whatever. That's all it is. You get to choose. Oh, they make life easy. Do you want this religion or this religion? Do you want to go to this church across the street, or do you want to go to the church across that street over there? They make it so easy for you. They make it so convenient. And convenience, I think, is humans' weakness. They have a weakness. And if I was the devil, I would play on that weakness every single minute, every second of the hour. I would create religions, create fictional characters for them to believe them in and to lose their own willpower. I would make them believe that money was everything and that all the riches and everything was the best thing on the planet, when really relationships and love and being kind is the best thing on the planet, right? Not keeping people out, not building walls, that's not collaboration. That's I don't know what that is. That's anti-spirit, but that's the world we live in. Every country is doing the same thing. They have like a military power, they have a political power, a pharmaceutical power, propaganda power, religious power. It's how you drive the masses. The masses are just like sheep, they're part of a wheel. They keep the system alive. That's their function. God bless all of them. They keep the system alive. Who doesn't like the system, though? You need zombies to keep the system alive. So God bless them. God bless the sheep. God bless the religious people. God bless the people who believe in Jesus. God bless all the people who shop at Walmart. God bless people who go to the movie theaters that are mostly owned by China. God bless, the farmers who slaughter pigs in a chain of just hundreds and hundreds of slaughtered animals. Like they live in a weird matrix where suddenly they're born into a barn and a robotic thing, they get thrown into a robotic thing that rips them apart in 2 seconds. Wow, what a great existence we created for pigs. God created pigs, and we fucking tear them up to fucking pieces. Zombies, man. The masses are the zombies. We may not be like eating ourselves. You take away the food in the United States, you'll see how fast everybody turns into a cannibal. A matter of days. 3 days, you'll have people eating themselves. Killing each other for food. Do you have food stored at all? I'm not trying to scare anyone, but just in case. Have you ever thought about that? Like, what if the whole system is shut down? You can't get food anywhere for days. What do you do? Where are you going to travel? Oh, where the next city doesn't have food. Oh shit, where are you going to go? The next city doesn't have food. Oh shit. And the next city you go to doesn't have food, and they're fucking rioting and killing people. So you're just going to go deeper and deeper and deeper into darkness. Do you have any kind of sanctuary just in case? Any stored food, any kind of thing to keep the madness of ignorant zombies at bay when shit hits the fan? I think wars are made up. I'm gonna be honest. I think wars are completely made up. I think people go, shit, we don't have enough food to feed all these billions of people. What do? Start a war. Okay, you nuke that shit over there, you bomb that shit, and get people angry and shit and kill people. And then we'll be able to kill even more people, We'll be able to kill lots and lots of people. For a good cause, for the country, for our freedoms. I'm pretty sure, and I'm not going to get into it. Don't even get me started. Don't get me started. This is all speculation, entertainment purposes, of course. I'm just trying to rattle your cage. That's what I do. Get you thinking differently. But, I always say the most important thing is to be positive, to now allow others to do the thinking for you. Dream big, dream your own dreams, dream about your own dreams, dream about having your own, dream big. Don't settle for what you think is possible. Settle for the impossible. Why not? Go for what you think is impossible, but don't think it's impossible because then you think it's impossible. Ford said it. Whether you can do it or not, it's true. What he's saying is every single individual has the power to believe in whatever it is they want to believe. If you want to believe you're this, you're that. If you want to believe this, you're that. If you want to believe this, well, that's what you believe. The power of believability is very interesting. It's interesting how authorities can capture and grasp hold of the power of believability. And I sometimes wonder if they're funneling energy like witches, like witch doctors, like the people at the Vatican who are bishops and stuff. Like, look at all the authority they have. Look at the glamour and and everybody's on the patio down below them, so like peasants. It's disgusting. Come on. Like, let's put the Pope on the floor with everybody else. Why does he got to be on a kingdom, a castle, that everybody's like a peasant, and like waving like, oh hi, because it's tricking your brain to be a servant. It's tricking your brain to keep solidifying that you're nothing in this world. That you yourself aren't special enough to be praised. That was taken away and placed in a fictional character. Oh, we don't praise you. We don't praise humans. We praise fictional characters. We took that power away from you because now, since we don't praise human beings, we can hurt you. We can put laws against you. We can take away things from you. We can put you in prison. We can hurt you. We can abuse you. Oh, why not flip it and say, what if the real beauty and construction of God is actually us? We, each and every single person, we are Jesus. We are the specialness, the creation that keeps getting multiplied and pushed out. You know what I'm saying? And divide and divide and divide and divide and divide and divided. But what if we are the true creation, the being, the thing, right? But that gets taken away from us because we're told to believe that we're not that special. Think about it. How many people on this planet are convinced they're not special? That they have to follow a figure, a Messiah, because they can't conceive themselves being special enough to being their own Messiah. Think about it. You either have the power or you don't. You're either the audience or the creator. You're either the writer or the performer. You know, somebody's in control always. Somebody is being entertained while somebody's in control. It's always like that in every situation. And think about it. In every single situation in life, whether it's a doctor, this or that, there's somebody that's going to want to place authority over you and keep you down. That's just how it is. They make up whatever. Oh, I got a degree in this or that or that or this. Guess what? You, buddy, are flesh, just like me, which means we are equals, which means whatever knowledge you have, I have the capacity to also have. It's just that you have it before I do, and that gives you a little bit of power over me, doesn't it? Keeping knowledge away from people is the cruelest thing that humanity has to suffer through. Keeping the truth and keeping knowledge away from people and having them get into debt that they can never pay off to go to these schools and be conduits to a system that they perpetuate and keep alive for no reason other than to keep professors, because they don't know how to live a real life outside of that. A lot of people don't. Let's be real. Not everyone's going to be a leader. Not everyone's going to be a free thinker. Not everyone's going to be free from all the chains. You know, not everybody's going to be that fearless. Not everybody's going to have the same experience in life, and not everybody's going to believe the same beliefs. You know? So it's a very diverse world out there of multitude of beliefs and authority shifts, changes, evolution, decay, growth, constant changes. It never stops, never stops. I mean, it's incredible that there's families and people that have been able to, over time and over hundreds of years, been able to secure positions of power. You know, it's actually amazing when families do that. I'm not one of the lucky ones. I got a little bit unlucky in life, you know, a little bit of luck and a little bit of unluckiness, but just the same, it's all good. It's all good. You know, I've had a decent, pretty good life. You know, not that I want it to end anytime soon, but I look back and now as an adult, I keep thinking, what am I going to leave behind? You know, what changes can I do? What's something of significance that I can leave behind and something I can do that will be meaningful to others, whether it's bringing them joy or perspective or something. You know, that's been my mindset for a while. You know, and really focusing with my parents. I want to spend as much time as I can with my parents, as much time as possible. You know. But anyways, I'm gonna end this live. I'm done ranting. Yeah, but the thing with Jesus is Jesus is tied to religion. You know, so you can't have Jesus without the religion because it's all tied to the same kingdom that created the fictional character Jesus. You know what I'm saying? You can say, oh, I take Jesus and I take him outside of religion, whatever. But you can't have the religion without Jesus. You know what I'm saying? So to say that it's got nothing to do with religion is not true. Sorry. I'm sorry. That logic doesn't compute. Jesus has everything to do with religion. Everything to do with it. He is like the president of a religion. The only reason you follow that religion is because you follow that president, which is Jesus, basically. You know, some people follow the Virgin Mary, some people follow this, some people follow that. But in a lot of ways, subconsciously, people incorporate these figures as like a mother figure, a father figure. And really what they should be doing, instead of honoring that statue, that myth, they should be using that towards their own parent. So honoring the Virgin Mary, well, yeah, but no. Honestly, what you should do is honor your mother because she gave you life. You know, the story of Jesus and why people honor Mary is because Mary birthed a child, right? Jesus, the Son of God. But either way, she is the mother, right? So they take that away from you. You know, they say, oh, no, no, no. You know, you need to get away from your parents. You know, you need to move away and don't take care of them. Go live your life, you know. Culture, movies, what do they teach us? Get away from your parents. Why? Why do they teach us that? When like generations back then, all they did was stay together as families. You know what I mean? There's something to staying together as family that produces growth with everything. And when you don't have that, when you don't have family, it negates that. It negates that. And you may think you're doing well without family, but trust me, you're gonna hit a low. And when you do, you're gonna wish you had family. You're gonna wish you had family to be there for you, because that's the most important thing. Everything can escape you, but your family will always be there for you. Always. That's why it's so important to treat your mother and father well, in my opinion. Culture today tells you different. It tells you to get away from them. They tell you it's lame. They tell you not to listen to your parents. All the opposite. All the opposite they teach you. All the opposite. You know, it's not cool. What is cool? It's a perception that somebody put in your head to think that one thing is better than the other than reality. And then reality, the best thing for you is to have, you know, what I call columns in your life. People who are like columns. They act like columns. They support you. You know, they can be your parents. They can be teachers. They can be somebody you meet who's a shining light guiding you somewhere. You know. Anyways, I don't know what this was. This was like a rant. This was like a, you know, you got a side of me that really kind of gets me going sometimes. You know, I think about this stuff. You know, and then some days I'm like all about it, and some days I'm not. I don't know. It's weird. It's really weird. Anyways, I'm gonna call it a night. I hope this was engaging for you and interesting. I'm sorry if I upset you, because you know I'm not trying to tell you how to believe your life or how to live your life. You know, everybody has the right to believe in everything they believe. So I apologize if you're hurt by any your feelings, but I'm just telling my truth, just like you're telling your truth. You came onto my channel telling your truth. Well, this is my channel. I'm telling my truth now. I get to tell my version of the truth as you tell your version. If you don't like it, I said God bless you and said, you know, you're welcome and God bless you for believing in Jesus. You're offended by my beliefs. I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm not a believer of following authority and fictional characters and fictional kingdoms for your own enslavement. I can't, it hurts my soul to go along with it. You know, I just can't go along with it. You know, it's an outdated thing, you know. So I can't go along with it, you know. Um, so, you know, for those that like it, find that cloud nine with Jesus, God bless you. But like I said, I can't perpetuate an authoritative figure who steals people's freedom of spirituality and creativity and all that. So I'm going to call it a night. I'm tired. I'm going to post a few more things and call it a night. So thanks for joining me. Maybe you found this interesting. Maybe you found this interesting and challenging. Maybe I'll just give me that at least. You know, maybe I challenged you and it made you grow even further into your faith. At least give me that, you know. But otherwise, I'm kind of like a teacher, professor. Look at me that way. Look at me as a philosophical person who challenges people. I'm not trying to upset you or, you know, rock the boat. You know, if you want to dig deep into what you believe and I helped you do that, then okay, whatever. But if you're like, maybe he's right. Maybe what he's talking about does make sense. Maybe everything he's talking about makes a lot of sense and resonates with me. Well, if that's the case, all I can say to you is keep searching the truth. I can't tell you what the truth is. You got to search it for your own and figure it out and feel it out and connect the dots for yourself. I've done that for myself. I've connected enough dots to see a lot of things and be like, okay, so this is the world we actually live in. Interesting. So, anyways, good night, folks. I hope I didn't piss off people. Anyways, YouTube's weird. YouTube's weird like that. You never know if I'm pissing off people or actually doing good out there. I really want to bring joy. I don't like to get into these debates or things, honestly. I really like bringing joy to people and all that stuff. But somehow I fall back into these conversations. Someone says Jesus, and I go, "Did you say Jesus?" Anyways, I'm out. God bless the world. God bless everybody. Peace on the earth, even religious people.